So if you're watching this video, you want to know a little bit more about using Glitch, but there's a lot of different things. I'm going to try to include as much as I can on the website, but just going through the platform yourself might be the best way, and I'm going to go through the platform now just to show you where some of the buttons are to do the more common things we'll be doing while using Glitch. Remember, it's just our code editor. This is where we put our code. It just so happens to save our code automatically and present it live on the internet so we can use a link. Those are the two extra things that it does. But mostly it's just kind of like our Word document where we're going to put the answers to these coding challenges that we'll be taking part in. So when you first start a new project, you'll see that there's some code already there for you. That's all this stuff right here. But let's just take a look at some of these buttons and see what they do. We already know how to change our title. Remember, if you double click here at any point, you can change the title. If you try to use a project name that's already been used, it will give you an error. So just remember it has to be a unique title. If you ever decided to start a new project, you can click on this button right here. Remember, that's just this first menu drop down. So there's lots of drop downs all over this place, but we're going to go through them one at a time. So starting a new project, let's say it will save your current one and start a new one, and it will make a randomized name. I'll show you right now. If I click it, it's going to give me the three options. The one we clicked before was Hello Web Page, that's what we do again. I'm opening it up here in a new tab. You can see that it looks exactly the same, except it has a new randomized name, which I can change. As soon as you do that, it will show up in your recent projects too, and sometimes they can get a little messy, so just be careful with how many new projects you start. Next, you can remix the project. This should be your own project if you followed everything to the T up to this point. But if you are looking at someone else's work and you want to edit it, this is one of the many ways that you can remix a project. Sometimes you can do it in the project itself, in the live website view. Over there to the right hand corner, there's these little fish too that we'll see. The remix button pretty much makes an exact copy of the project, but it will be in your files pretty much. Switch project, just to switch between projects. Let's see, change theme. You're probably seeing Glitch right now with the white background. If you've signed in, you should have access to this. And oof, that's bright. I tend to go with the dark mode, but this is how you can switch it on and off. When we make changes to our website, we will see the changes live. So this button is probably clicked by default on yours. And anytime you make a change, for example, let's just take a look actually. See how it says hi there right there? And if you're making edits to your code, it will show the edits in real time. So instead of hi there, I'm going to write hello there. You see that I won't do anything, and it will update by itself. Sometimes they can get confusing, so I turn it off by default, but you can go ahead and turn that on. And then wrapping text, just as if your text goes all the way to the side of the page, it's going to just keep going in one line, which can also be confusing. So I click wrap text to break the line a little bit. And delete your project, guess what that one does? Now I showed you something before that I had not explained. Whatever your project is, you can take a look at how it looks in the real world by clicking on, hold on, what's this? Oh, there it is right there. The show button. Now you can either show your work in a whole new window or next to the code. We just saw the next to the code, so let's see new window. It's complaining it's already open. Right, I want to see my new project. And I click show, click open a new window, and there it is. And if I want to do next to the code, there it's right there. And sometimes you have to refresh it, and you can refresh it right here, but this is pretty much your whole project. And here it is in the full mode. You can X that out right there. Over here, we can get back to our profiles I showed before, and we can sign out right there as well. Go back to the Glitch homepage, and this is just kind of like under the hood legal stuff. Then we just have our panel, which we can hide and show with this button right here. This is our button to share. It's a little advanced, but later on when we want other people to contribute with our code, or we want to just have someone have a link to our finished product, we can use one of these links. A little advanced, so I'm not going to get into it. A new file just creates a new file in our panel. So if I want to do a petnames.html file, it creates a pet names.html file. If I want to create a colors.css file, you can create a CSS file. So it's pretty much just a add new file button. And all these files we'll be using when we create something. So let's just create something real quick right now. If you're taking the class in person, one of the things I probably told you to do was just to start deleting stuff, just to make everything a little bit more organized. And while we're getting started in web development, it's better to not have as much stimuli as possible. So we're going to bring it down to just one tiny solitary file. And in that file, we're just going to delete everything in it. So we have our project. We have this search bar so we can search within our project. We can get back to our profile over here. We can show our project, which right now is going to be a big old pile of nothing. We can start a new project, remix an existing project, switch projects, rename our file, change some settings, and add files. There's a rewind button here in case you messed up and you want to go to a previous version of the tools, which I highly recommend doing some reading on, but pretty much in modern web development, we have these kind of save files. I don't know if you play video games, but let's say I deleted all those files, but I wanted one of them back. You could Control Z, probably won't work in the panel. So you can click this button, which effectively rewinds back in time the changes that you made. So I'm going to see if it works. And I'm going to try to bring it back to a few minutes ago when I had all these files. And you can go back a little bit further to go all the way. That's probably as good as we're going to do. And then you can accept the changes there. Now I'm going to go through that. I'm not going to go through that again. That is definitely advanced, but just so you know, that's what that tool does down there. And then a few more advanced ones to see the console and to do stuff with Git. Again, advanced topics, but that's what those buttons do down there. I'm going to go ahead and re-delete these. We're going to create one element and then we're going to be done with the glitch overview. I'm going to create one single p tag, and it's going to say hello world. One p tag on our index.html file, and that is live on the internet. So I don't think we have our changes refreshing. We're just going to go ahead and use the buttons again, open up next to the code, and there it is. Hello world. Again, hit the refresh button right here. Boom. That's how you can check your work. So those are the major things: changing projects, showing your work, getting back to your profile, a couple advanced tools, and important, the share for sharing your work with other people to get links, and then adding new files over here. And all your files will be here to the left-hand side, and we can hide that panel like this, and we can close this with the X button. And that wraps it up. We'll be getting more and more into Glitch, but pretty much think about it as your code editor that saves your work but also deploys your work. And yeah, there's some advanced topics that we can get into as you get more comfortable, but play around with Glitch, look at other people's projects, try to save yours and get back to your home page and then back to your project and make a change and then see the change. With practice, you should be able to get it.